Tying back to rocks. On the boat, 1:12. Birthday boy gets a cooked breakfast.
English tea, English breakfast.
We find a quiet little bay in Bosburun, and we show you what we've learnt very quickly in a short space of time about tying back to rocks.
So above the engine noise, this is how you stern to moor with the anchor down. Our anchor's out about 55 metres of chain.
Moving on from where we were in the last video, we decided to go to Bosburun, recommended by Sailing ABC.
That's yours. That's been a cat here. Oh. What you got round your mouth, Oscar?
It's just a bit of cat fur, nothing to worry about.
So a little harbour where you tie back, some tied alongside. For us under 12 metres, 210 Turkish lira a night. We're not in here, we're out on anchor. We have the mighty Odin holding us down, 50 metres of chain out, and another boat is keeping an eye on us while we go and have a full English. Recommended by Barry from Sailing ABC. I'll put a link in the description to their channel. It's a great channel, actually, well worth a look. They go on some great adventures and they tell you all about the places they go to. Some good top tips as well, sailing tips. Link in the description below. Prelude to breakfast, English tea. Tea!
Excellent, cheers!
English tea, English breakfast.
Perfect.
Thank you, Barry. Birthday breakfast.
And your breakfast is as good as it's promised. Oh,
birthday
absolutely
cake.
Delicious, thank you.
When they heard it was my birthday, I cooked cake as well, and so did everyone else.
That's the little island. This is the top end of the bay. You can just see us over there, and there's the harbour. It really is quite pretty, quite windy as well. An isolated danger mark there. There's some rocks that stick out, so watch out for that. It is in the right charted position. We checked that when we came in and noticed it. It's been a really nice stay here. I like this place, and it's such a big inlet that there must be 30 little bays like this one that you can tuck into. It really is a lovely place. I'll put the long and lack down in the bottom so that you can either look it up on Google Earth or you can come here yourself. There's actually a little island there, and directly behind us there's an isolated danger mark. I think I might have mentioned that before.
Here's what it looks like from the drone. Bosburun was really great, and it's definitely on one of our recommended to go lists. After Bosburun, we went round to this place, Cersei Lamani, or Captain Nemo's as it's affectionately known. Now this really is a nice place to stay. It's a long, narrow inlet with high-sided mountains all round. It really is quite picturesque.
And we're just going to go in a little bit further now and walk Mr. Oscar, aren't we, mate?
Yeah, about time.
See the goats, Oscar?
Yeah, I like goat. It's better than chicken.
Right, let's go into shore and get Mr. Oscar on the beach. For a dog who hates the water.
Great music.
No wonder he was so keen to get over here. He can smell chicken at 500 paces. So we've walked up past the tavernas up the hill there, pretty steep, and that's the view of the bay. A few olive trees here, look, some black olives. Don't know an awful lot about olives. I guess if I'm living in a country where they produce so much olive oil, I really ought to get an education. Note to self, educate yourself on olives. Well, there's an old adage and it says, be careful what you wish for. Just when I was literally talking to the camera and saying I need to know more about olives, there's a chap behind me, and he didn't really want to go on camera, but a local, and he speaks some English, and he was telling me about his olive trees. So behind me are olive trees. He's got over 1,000 here, and he keeps cattle, brings water up from the village for them. The cattle are in here. He's got a car there. He's just unloading the water for them. And he says in the winter that all of these mountains are green, thick with grass, he said. So he's got olive trees, he's got fig trees, and a little fruit. He did tell me the name in Turkish, but they look like yellow olives, but a little fruit. And he was telling me the trees here that he's got, these ones here, are about 10 years old, and they're just sort of starting to produce. But he's got some that are 1,500 years old. Yeah, 1,500 years old. Now, wherever you are in the world, what was going on 1,500 years ago in your part of the world? Put it in the description. Because here they were planting olive trees. And lots of them. 1,500 years ago. One man's life is a tiny little speck on that calendar of 1,500 years, isn't it? Amazing. So Oscar's with David and Caroline. He's still pulling like a steam train.
Despite the hill we've just walked up.
Yeah, we've just walked up this hill. It's pretty steep. About 1 in 4, I would say. 1 in 3 in places. And he's just pulled us all the way up the hill, and now he's pulling us back down again. But it is much cooler now. So here's some of this chap's olive trees. And now we're coming back down towards the taverna.
I think we might have to have a beer.
I think we might have to have a beer. Yeah, amazing. What a lovely, lovely country.
Okay, here's the bit you've been waiting for. Now, we're not experts, and we've only learned to do this properly in the last couple of months. We'd never done it before, well, apart from once in Cornwall, about 30 years ago. First, attach 2 strops to the rocks behind you. You want them about twice the width of your boat apart. Put them round a rock and secure them, but don't put them round a tree, or you'll get in a lot of trouble. You're going to attach your windward line aft first, so have it ready and flaked out on the deck, ready to go. Position your boat perpendicular to the rocks, about 5 or 6 boat lengths away from your final resting position, and then pay out chain, lots of it, in fact a whole heap of it. As shown in this diagram, once you have about 40 or 50 metres out, you can then start reversing under control into the position you want to be. Keep paying out chain. Stop paying out anchor chain when you're about 1 boat length from the rocks, or when you're happy with the depth underneath your rudder. Then your buddy boat takes your floating line, the windward one, and secures it to the strop. The idea is to power against your anchor as if you were doing a stern to mooring, while pulling in the windward line, keeping both of them tight and positioning your boat where you want it to be. You can pull the windward line in by hand, or put it round a winch and pull yourself in. Take the boat out of gear and see where she settles. The object is to keep the boat being pulled forward by the anchor chain. When you're happy with the boat's position, then take the leeward line and attach that to the boat. Now, as I said, we're not experts, but if you know a better way, well, tell us in the description and we'll pass it on.
So above the engine noise, this is how you stern to moor with the anchor down. Our anchor's out about 55 metres of chain in 28 metres, 25 metres of water out here. We've got 2 lines. You just see the orange one, which is a floating line. That goes back to the rocks there, and that's on a sturdy piece of 16mm line. And then here, I don't know if you can see it, that's our leeward line. That's a sinking line, but it has a little buoy or buoy on it, little fender, pickup fender, which is floating there, so that when that goes tight, it keeps the line up and out the water. And the wind's coming from the direction of the boat at the moment. I'll go around the other side of the boat so that you can see. And yes, the boat is filthy. Copper coat's working well though. You can see it there. So we haven't got our snubber on at the moment. Waiting for the wind to die a little bit so I can just motor forward. And then as I motor forward, I can pull some chain in, put the snubber on, and then pay the chain back out again. I'll also release the aft lines. You remember just a few months ago I polished this boat relentlessly and it was so shiny. Lots of salt spray, but lots of miles. And I just have to say yet again, Turkey. What do we think of Turkey? It's brilliant. So there we are, that's our floating line. I've got 80 metres of that, and there's about 30 out at the moment, and a piece of 16mm multi-plat, which has got a bit of stretch in it around this rock and tucked down behind the rock as well. And we've also got some straps. Where are straps? One down there with D-rings in, and I had some tiger tape. John Patterson, if you're watching, that's your roll of tiger tape from Olympic Aquatic Centre. Oh, there's a cormorant behind David's boat. So what we did today was David came in first, put his chain out, and I put a big line and a 1-ton lifting strop around that rock there. He reversed in, and then I took his lines, and then he did the same for me, and that really works well. So another reason to buddy boat. There's always someone to watch the boat, and there's always someone to help you more. So we're...
And there's always good company.
Always good company, absolutely. And we're just going to go in a little bit further now and walk Mr. Oscar, aren't we, mate? Yeah, about time. That was the plan. We're going to do, now we've learnt a bit about it, we're going to try and pass that knowledge on.
Yes, of course. Of course. That might make a poignant...
Yeah, so many boats that we've seen come tearing into anchorages or racing round them, and that poor little turtle's, well, we don't know that it's been hit, but I mean its head is completely severed. It's got to be hit by a boat. Well, there we go. Early morning, we've walked the dog, engine's running, it's smooth, 0.4 of a knot of true wind speed, and we are just leaving Bosburun. It's been a really great stay. Been in the shelter of this island and that bay there. It's a lovely place, recommend you come here. Made some new friends, some Turkish friends. Wished us well this morning before we left. Yeah, great. I'm just loving Turkey. I am absolutely loving it. It's great. No wonder so many people want to keep it quiet. We're not quite sure what's happening here, but in the distance there, middle shot, there's Coast Guard. Behind the boat with the green fenders, you'll just see it come into view in a second. Behind this boat called Overseas, there's a yacht that's being pushed backwards by a powerboat. It will come into view in a second. Behind here. We can't see what flag he's got up. It's definitely being pushed backwards. Something around his prop, perhaps. Engine gone. So the Coast Guard there are hovering.
It's the first time I've seen the Turkish Coast Guard boat.
What do you reckon, Oscar?
I reckon they woke me up. Bloody noisy boat. Got no sails, not a proper boat.
No, I reckon you're right, Oscar.
Alright, yeah, Phil woke me up. It's tea time yet.
You got fish tonight, Oscar? Wait, you got fish?
Yeah, I'm not pretending I'm not listening.
I said you've got fish, Oscar.
Don't look at me, Dad didn't catch it.
Won't be a med fish, there ain't no feet. Look.